guys, great day. Welcome to yet another edition of Celebrity Uncensored on TLIG Africa TV. My name is Kenny, and it's great to be back on this wonderful, exclusive edition of the show. Today on the show, I've got with me a phenomenal young Nigerian doing exploits in the online space and also making impact in this industry. It's called the Don. Many people know him as Ibikadonis.
Yes.
Okay, so let me start. I have so many questions to ask you because I got to know you from the days of BBM.
Exactly.
BB Money. And from the BBM era to this era, you've been able to craft a niche for yourself and all that. How exactly did when exactly did you become intentional about building your brand?
Yeah, I became intentional in 22. I can say 2012. So when I got the job I got in 2006, so the company took me abroad to Italy specifically to go and be trained so that I could come back. The intention was to build me to becoming the first black construction manager for the company. That was what they told me at the time. And so when I went on training, I began to hear this voice that began to ask me, is this what you want to do with the rest of your life? Is this all there is to life and all? So I got back to Nigeria, I kept on getting that inquiry, and then I began to listen to the voice. I began to give heed to the voice. And then I think it was around 2007 that I had some form of clarity that I've got hands to write and I've got a voice to speak. I should use them. So then I started out. So initially it was the usual aspire kind of stuff. Wake up in the morning, share stories, share thoughts. People were not really following me at the time. But then I just kept on doing all that in that confused state because I keep telling individuals that confusion can lead to clarity. So I was just in that confused state, doing my stuff. But it was after I had gone through a training under Steve Harris, because you can have talent, but you need to be able to understand how that talent can become entrepreneurial or enterprising. So I went through his training, what I call it coaching. Yeah, coaching.
Yeah.
For 90 days. And by the time I was done in 2012, I had become purely intentional. So everything I was doing on social media began to change. Back then we go to social media, we used to write UUR, TNX, those kind of things. So by the time I got that intentionality, I began to understand that I was in the face of the world. So every time I'm coming on social media, I'm thinking that maybe the president of the United States is reading what I'm writing. So will he be proud to associate with such an individual? So I became quite intentional, and ever since then I've been, building. Every day is a day of learning. Every day is a journey for me. I don't think there'll be a destination till I die. So I just keep learning and getting better. Most importantly is to put out there. So it's not just to soak in, but then to also bring out. So I'm learning, I'm teaching, I'm learning, I'm doing, I'm learning, I'm executing. And that's been a cycle for me ever since then.
Amazing stuff. So, because I've been following since the days of BBN, when you had this is it program or
I had quite a lot of programs. Well, part of it was BB Money. So BB Money came as a result of when I bought the BBM that first night, there was this girl I got across to. She was based in Sweden or Canada at the time. I can't remember. Long lost friend. And so we started chatting. It was so exciting that I could chat with her more. We chatted till like 3 a.m. that morning, right? So, but after a while of chatting endlessly, sometimes with girls and with my friends from back in the university days, I began to ask myself a question. There's something more than just chatting with this phone. Is there something I could do that could make money for me with this phone? So that was how I started out, doing trainings. So back then, BBM groups were like 30. So sometimes I would have like 32 groups filled with 30 individuals. And then I was charging 1,000 naira for a whole month. So people hear my story today and they're like, but then I would charge someone 1,000 naira and I would teach you for 30 days. Every day I wake up and I teach for 2 hours for 30 days. So that was how. So when I started doing that, I saw that people began to do the same. They began to follow my steps, and they also started their own trainings and teachings using BBM. So I looked at the entire process and I said, why don't I package it into something that people could replicate? So that was how I came up with BB Money. All right. Amazing. When I look at that ebook today, I laugh because it can't sell such a book anymore. So people learned from me. I did some trainings on that, and then I converted everything into an ebook and started selling. it was awesome at the time.
But what I love about your brand is that you easily evolve easily.
Yeah, of course.
Because you also moved from BBM to WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And started monetizing.
Yeah. So when I began to read about the trajectory of the company REAM, that produces BBM, I just knew that BBM was getting to the end, and especially the time they opened up to Android, I just knew that exclusivity was not there anymore. That this company could eventually die off. So then WhatsApp became a lot of people began using WhatsApp. So I felt, okay, since one thing with BBM at the time is that you have PIN. When you now buy another new BBM, you have another PIN. So you see somebody will come, we buy the BlackBerry phone today, and then it gets missing, you come back again. Hey guys, this is my new PIN. But when I now saw WhatsApp, that WhatsApp was related to your particular phone number and not about PIN. So you could lose the phone, come back again, buy a new phone, and your WhatsApp remains the same. So I began evolving towards WhatsApp. I remember the day I left BBM, I just sent a final broadcast to all the people, and I told them that after this broadcast, there won't be any broadcast anymore. I was shutting down and moving over to WhatsApp. So I just shut down all the two. I had two BB phones at the time. I was carrying them all the time, responding and all that. So I shut down, and then I moved fully to WhatsApp. So because you have to keep evolving. You have to keep evolving. That's just the way it is. If you don't evolve, you die off.
Great. So I'm tempted to ask you, over the years, you've become this, online brand that people follow, people listen to, people learn from. How did you, get to that point where, I know you started very small, but how did you get to the point where on Facebook right now, you're one of the leading voices?
Yeah, it's about consistency. That's what I can say. That's what I can. Okay, consistency in what? Consistency is creating value that can help individuals experience transformation. A lot of people are on Facebook, but I chose to use it for good. So I was on Facebook for like a year, even before people started paying attention and sharing my stuff, sharing my posts, or even making meaningful comments. But I was just there. I kept on pushing, And after 1 year, it looked like as if, things broke. And then just like that, I also kept on. Every day I wake up and I look at something that could be beneficial to someone and I share. I look at someone's problem and I say, okay, this problem, I cannot solve it. Someone else can solve it. Is it in real estate? I have people who are good in real estate. I mentioned their name. For example, yesterday here in the city of Lagos, one of them, Mercy Okeke, had met me for the first time. I had known her for more than 6 years on Facebook, but we met for the first time physically yesterday. So I refer people to her without any commissions because I found someone who is good at what she does. So I could refer people without issues. So I see myself as a bridge to solve people's problems so that they can move from where they are to where they desire to be, right? So that's what I do. And then from time to time, I champion humanistic causes. So it could be someone is not well, what could be done? Maybe someone's house has lost his house, what could be done? Lost a baby. Like for example, a friend of mine lost his only child some days ago to a hit and run keke driver. So when he put it out there on his timeline, people went there, hey, sorry, God will help you. Those are not the kind of things that guy needs to hear. Yes. And he's in debt at the same time. He's in pain. Yeah, all that God will help you. God at that time wasn't making sense to him. So I took it upon myself and I said, guys, all this God will help you is not helping this guy. At this point in time, he needs money to sort out certain things. We know that God is good and all that, but I think if we can just donate something. Yes. So I took it upon myself. I made a transfer, snapped the shot of the transfer, and I made a post. And people followed suit. People were donating 1K, 2K, 10K, like that. So for me, I look at myself like I'm leading. I'm a leader. So when everything I'm doing, can I take a step that some individuals can follow the same suit with me? So that informs every day that I wake up. I see myself as someone who's leading the space, providing value that is transformational for people, providing solutions, ideologies, strategies, processes, sharing my own results and everything. See, I've been in Lagos and I've been sharing things.
Yes.
All right. So some individuals who but we've been in this Lagos. Is it that your own Lagos is different? Because they're not sharing their own stories. So I keep sharing. I take pictures and I share like that. So people follow. When they follow that trajectory, they are seeing themselves on a journey of wealth. They're seeing themselves on a journey of process and change. And that's how people keep sharing you. And then more people will come. Like on the average now, I get 1,000 followers, sometimes in a week. New followers in a week.
New followers.
Yeah, sometimes in 2 weeks. You get. So people keep sharing and sharing and sharing. Yeah, my intention is the fact that when they say who are those who are influential on Facebook, the names that I see them mention piss me off. You know why? Because they are mentioning individuals that I see that are hustlers. Because they've got a few thousand followers, they feel that they are influencers. You get what I mean? Then I see these people who do some 1J thing. So people are mentioning their names as but who can be mentioned to be someone who is ideological and great? So that's why I'm building all the things I'm doing on social media. Let the numbers come. So that's the thing.
Let the numbers come. So we're going on a short break. When we come back from the break, we'll be talking about the concept of shameless marketing, which he has been able to craft. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
What does success mean to you? To a singer, success is about selling out a concert and having hit songs. To a filmmaker, success is about fans raving about his or her blockbuster movie. To an entrepreneur, success is about converting prospects into lifelong customers. For us at Visibility Solutions Media, our success is when we help you successfully tell your story and win in the marketplace. We produce videos that matter, media campaigns that sell, content that puts your brand in the spotlight. In short, we are the one your brand needs today and forever. Visit us at vsmpr.com or call 0805 468 0266.
Welcome back from the break. This is the Celebrity Uncensored on TLEG Africa TV. My name is Kenny. I say with me on my couch, Emeka Nobis, the Don. Okay, why are you called the Don? You're not called the Don. You started calling yourself the Don.
Well, when I was in secondary school at the time, me and my friends, we used to play Scrabble. So I used to beat them. So I'll go and learn. I go and learn good English words. You know, we play premium words when you play 7-letter word. Yeah. So I was good at playing 7-letter words. So I'll go and read, and then I'll play stuff like cortical, debacle, and then they would just jump and say, I contest, and then they keep losing. So back then, whenever I started playing the game, they would call me the Don. You get so, and then I opened an email through a friend of mine at the time, Nobis Don. So the Don has always been there. So, but then when I now looked at myself, I'm like, okay, how can I brand myself? What symbolism will I use? So I began to think about the Italian mafias, right? So, you know, the Italian, they sit at the top of the organization, and their words are authority, their power. You don't dare them when they step out. So that's how I looked at myself. I'm like, I need people to pay attention to me. I need someone to wake up in the morning and say, if Emeka Nobis has not spoken into my life, I'm not living the day. Well, that's how it is, you know. So look at myself as a leader. People should pay attention to me. So that's why I called myself. And then people began to, you know, initially people were like, but with time, and I began to wear some symbolisms. You get, so like the hat that I wear, you know. So
that's intentional too.
It's intentional. Although I don't wear it all the time because sometimes it makes my head feel hot. But then from time to time I wear, and then people connect. So gradually people have started, so I step into a place and people call me the Don, and I'm happy because that has sunk in. And it comes with a level of boldness, a level of authority than when people call the name. I remember when I walked into a hall when they were doing a show in Owerri. So I walked in there, and then the MC on the stage paused and said, the Don just walked in now. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, can we? I was just walking into the place. So you could feel everybody just turned around and we are looking at who is this guy, you know. So and then, you know, so it made sense that this thing had really penetrated, and I'm happy about that.
But how does it feel? Because I'm meeting him for the first time today. Yeah. But I've always known him for 5 years back. And I know this happens to you every time. Yeah. People you've known online and you meeting them. How do you feel when you eventually connect with those people? Yeah,
it's beautiful because I like to connect with humans. Humans made me who I am today. Without followers, you're not a leader. Who are you now leading if you don't have followers? So it's good. And then the beautiful thing about it is that there's some individuals have certain impressions about me online. There's an impression they have online. Some of them feel that I'm faking it. Some of them feel that I am pompous. Some of them feel like, you know, different impressions. Yeah. So when they tend to see me, only a hug, they're like, oh, so you can even hug. Only the way I talk. So can even, you know, so sometimes they expect me to come in with all that swag and I don't talk to people, and then I'm looking at them, okay, and then I feel so. But by the time they see me express something out of the impression they already had. There's this emotional bonding, that really occurs. So it's beautiful to see humans in real life that I've been meeting online, and it's always a great time. Like when I saw Messi yesterday, we hugged, she was shouting, all this kind of things, and it was amazing, and we spent some good time. Tomorrow I'm going to see a lot of individuals that have been following me online that I'll be meeting physically, and it's going to be a very beautiful thing. And I'll be here in Lagos for like another week. Scheduling meetings and meeting people who want to connect with me and have some time out and all.
Great.
Yeah.
Before we go, let's talk about your concept of shameless marketing. I know it's a book you're working on for.
Yeah, I'm working on a book. Yeah, 2024, not now. Okay, so I'm marketing a book for 2 years.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Marketing a book. Okay. I'm sure. Tell me about it. What's the concept behind you wanting to market a book for 2 years?
Well, my dream is audacious. I want to make 500 million from that book. From one single book.
Okay.
So the longer the marketing, the more possibility of that happening. So I'm coming up with a lot of strategies. So like on January 1st, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to see a picture of me like this on January 1st. And then you see your savior is coming on January 1st. And so when you see that, it begins to strike up conversations. Who is this guy? What is he talking about? And this kind of thing people will share. And then I'm creating a waiting list so that people can keep joining. And then I'm creating 365 videos every day, 1 video per day of 1 minute of a prompt. So with all that keep making the conversations, and then boom, in 2024 on my birthday, on January, I open up for people to start buying on pre-order. And then on my birthday, 1st of July 2024, the book is released to the world. So that's what. So shameless marketing is I meet people. They've got lots of things in them, lots of values, but they are not opening up and sharing those things with the world. They feel timid, they feel less of themselves. And trust me, if you know something in this life that can be of great value to someone else, even if it means do you know that if you do a training today on how Nigerians can be checking their emails, people will pay you. Yes. Do you know? If you do a training today on how they buy something online, and then they're looking for how to check it in their emails. Because I do trainings and somebody will buy something, and right before the person, he's seen a link to click, but he doesn't know that's where the link is. Exactly. So if you're able to know something, and you know that this one has given you value, has given you a result, and you put it out there, someone can pay you for that. So, but some individuals feel like, okay, this one I know, many other people know it. What would they really pay me and all that? So they're hiding it. Some individuals are scared of what their friends will say, what their pastors will say, what their mothers will say, what their fathers will say. So I tell them, man, it's shameless. No send anybody. As long as what you're doing is ethical, what you're doing is not illegal, bring it out and share to the world. So for me, it's shameless. Just be unashamed to be able to bring your value to the world. So that's the gospel I've been teaching, and that's what that book is going to be all about. So that's in a nutshell what shameless marketing is all about.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it's a bit also related to your book will sell.
Yeah, but your book will sell. A lot of individuals look at it that it's basically for authors and aspiring authors, which is not a bad thing in any case. You get it's related to it, but not pure. This one is strictly for business people. Okay, it's strictly for business people and brand. And you find out that it cuts across a whole lot. Medical doctors, people barbers, women who are cooking, chefs. So the book is going to, as long as you have photographers, videographers, whatever, if you've got a skill, you've got something you've mastered, you've got a business you're running, it means you need to put it out there in the public, right? So that people can say, yeah, you're selling a product, I need to buy. So how do you do that? What strategies, what processes? That's what the book is going to be all about.
Great,
yes.
Great. So how can people reach you? For people who are just meeting you?
Yeah, I'm always on Facebook. Facebook is my place. Although someone has advised me to start on LinkedIn, but Facebook has always been. I'm building. Instagram is good, but I'm not really active there. So whatever I put on Facebook, I just reflect there, but I'm not really active. But Facebook is where I'm really intentionally building my audience. So anybody who wants to get across to me, send me a message on my messenger and on Facebook, and I will always reply. I check my messages every day without fail. Yes.
Amazing. So Emeka, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best in forthcoming projects.
Thank you.
Marketing and your other projects.
I'm glad. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts and my life with the audience.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. That's been the show for today. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring edition of Celebrity Uncensored. We'll be right back with another explosive edition. Stay with us. Don't go away.